heart of a small town, nestled between the streets, stood a gas station where I toiled away my nights. The overnight and early morning shifts became routine for me, and for the most part, the job was uneventful. It provided a modest income, requiring me only to stand behind the counter and interact with the occasional customer. However, one chilling night, the tranquility of my routine shattered, leaving me haunted by the unimaginable. It was a dark and rainy night when I settled into my shift, fully aware that the inclement weather would likely keep customers at bay. The first few hours passed without incident, the sound of raindrops tapping against the windows providing a soothing backdrop. However, by around midnight, the gas station grew eerily quiet. No customers ventured inside, and the gas pumps remained unoccupied, save for a lone car that pulled in. With my back turned to the windows, I continued my mundane tasks, organizing the shelves to ward off boredom. But an inexplicable urge compelled me to steal a glance outside. The car remained parked at the pump, and a man stood beside it, his gaze fixated on me. A shiver ran down my spine as he hurriedly averted his eyes, attempting to conceal his intent. Unease crept over me, amplified by the fact that he had lingered for a suspiciously long 10 minutes without pumping gas. Returning to the safety of the counter, I kept a watchful eye, periodically glancing out the window. The man finally returned to his vehicle, struggling to start it as if attempting to mask his true purpose. With a sense of urgency, he sped away, leaving lingering unease in his wake. Curiosity and concern gnawed at me, prompting me to investigate further. I checked the recent transactions for the pump he had used, only to discover that it had been inactive for hours. The man's presence and his prolonged observation of me through the window now seemed even more sinister. Resolute in my decision to stay vigilant, I remained behind the counter, hoping to weather the remainder of my shift unharmed. Hours passed, and the night grew oppressively quiet once again. Then, around 3 a.m, a faint sound pierced through the heavy rain, a rhythmic shuffling near the side of the building, drawing closer to the back. Driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, I abandoned the counter and approached the back door, straining to hear over the relentless downpour. The footsteps grew louder until they halted just outside the door. I held my breath, my eyes fixated on the doorknob, which slowly and silently turned, only to be thwarted by the lock. A tense silence followed, stretching for what felt like an eternity. Suddenly, a frustrated grunt emanated from the other side, accompanied by the sound of a sharp object scraping against the door. Panic surged within me as I sprinted back to the front, hoping to catch a glimpse of the intruder retreating. But there was no trace of him. He had vanished into the night. Fear consumed me, and I swiftly dialed 911, recounting the harrowing events to the authorities in the desperate hope they would apprehend the lurking danger. When the police arrived, they discovered a car abandoned on the side of the road, less than a quarter-mile away from the gas station. To my horror, it was the very same vehicle I had seen earlier, with the man who had been watching me. The car, as it turned out, had been reported missing from a neighboring state. Its license plates were mismatched, raising suspicions that something far more sinister was at play. The police also uncovered a long scrape across the back door of the gas station, evidence of the intruder's attempt to gain entry with a sharp object, likely a knife. The realization hit me like a freight train. I had narrowly escaped a potentially grave fate, as the man was likely already on the run from authorities, his intentions shrouded in darkness. The knowledge of what could have transpired shook me to my core, leaving me with an indelible sense of gratitude for the stroke of luck that had spared me from a sinister fate. From that day forward, I carried with me the haunting reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. The gas station, once a mundane backdrop to my life, transformed into a chilling symbol of the darkness that exists beyond our everyday perceptions. And as I continued my job, I vowed to remain ever vigilant, knowing that danger could strike at any moment, even in the seemingly ordinary moments of our lives.